Hello and welcome back to the Close Conversations podcast. My name is Chris and today we are doing things slightly differently. As for once, you can see me. This is because we have a very special guest on from our lower 6th, Leah Feetham, who is going to be telling us a little bit about her lower 6th independent project. Leah, over to you.
Right, so my independent project, A Glimpse of Us, was a contemporary dance project. It was about an hour-long dance show about Paul and Andre Gooden. Andre was a woman who sadly lost her life at the hands of, obsession from her husband. So it really interested me and I thought, we have to tell the story.
Well, of course this is quite a strong, sensitive topic, so I appreciate you love the story and everything, but what kind of made you go for this one rather than anything else?
Honestly, I kind of worked in reverse. I heard this song, Eat Your Young by Hosea, and it was so odd to me, and I was like, because the storyline of that song is kind of like eating like your family, your young, things like that. And I was like, ooh, what if there's got to be a story somewhere where someone does something similar, because I could like see the dance in my head, which we did then use in the show as like the murder dance, I guess. And from there, I just spent like hours researching and I found that story and I was just like really, really pulled to it because it treated it less as like, oh, he's crazy, he's done this. It's more of he's just an ill man who was just madly in love with his wife, and I thought that was really powerful and I really wanted to get that across.
Wow, that's very impressive. I mean, I think the extent of my creative knowledge is probably the lower 4 play, so you're certainly a lot further along than I was. But like, why a dance out of all of it? Like, not a play, not a speech, a dance.
Well, when I was younger, believe it or not, I used to be really shy and I didn't talk a lot. And so I picked up a lot of people's body language, and I've always been rather intuitive with things like that. And just as I've grown older and like thrown myself into dance, I realised that you don't always have to be speaking to tell your story, and I think dance is such a beautiful way of expressing things, and I really wanted to show, because I don't think that's really been done at the school much before, where like we've told like a whole story using dance, so I thought that might be something cool to explore.
That is really cool, actually. I personally, like I said, would have never thought of it. So overall, when it comes to like the project itself, is it silent? Is there music behind it? Because of course, like a dance, I have zero rhythm as it is, so I don't know if music would help me. But is there music behind it? Was it the song that inspired you?
So there was music all the way throughout. It just kind of never stopped. It was just on to the next one, on to the next one. We had live music. Thank you to all the people that were involved there. We had Ted Bowyer playing piano, Dylan, he was on guitar, and we played a couple songs, all like live singers as well. And it was kind of like all of the singers, they were in the same costumes as I guess kind of the dancer that they was telling the story for. So for example, Rachel Dean, she was the one playing Andre, she was in the same white dress that Uliana was in, who was playing the same character, so you could kind of see that was like her thought process just acted out through dance.
Oh, so a lot like an ancient Greek chorus in a theatre. That's very cool. I like that a lot. So how many people approximately did you have involved in this overall? Would you say?
Don't do that to me. There was about 9-ish dancers, I think, and then we had about 5 singers involved, and then obviously all the creatives helped, Miss Adams, Miss Cubbin, Miss Osborne, all sorts. So.
Oh, nice. So were these all sixth formers? Were they ranging from year groups?
We had a range. Most of the singers and performers were sixth form, apart from Rachel Dean, and most of the dancers were kind of like lower 5, middle 5 range. We had a lot of upper 5s, but unfortunately throughout the project a couple of them had to drop out, I think just with like GCSEs, and the school likes to keep people rather busy, so rehearsal schedules was not working too well, but we came back from it, and then I had to take over the role, and I ended up dancing in it, which was not in the plans. I much would have preferred to sit there and just like watch it all unfold. But
so you were actually in the project itself?
I was,
So you're doing both directing and acting at the same time? That's very impressive. Who did you end up playing?
Paul.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, which definitely was not my plan. I think everyone was kind of like, yeah, sure, you just wanted to be in it. But no, I wanted to, it's really hard, like with things like canons and stuff, you can't, if I sit out of it, obviously, there's a gap missing, and then if I'm in it, obviously, I can't see what's happening. So it was very scary having to be in it at the same time. But it was good because I felt like I had lots of creative control as well, like over how I wanted the character to be played. So I didn't really have to relay like, oh, you need to act like this, for each thing. I knew how I wanted it to look in each thing, and I did that.
Yeah, well, I think one of the main benefits of you actually being in it yourself is no one's going to be able to portray your vision better than you, like, 'cause you know exactly what you want, and I appreciate it's always nice to be able to kind of point people in the direction of like, I'll do this, do that, so you can see it all unfold yourself. But I think for you to be able to take on that role, I think it would probably been as best as it actually could have been. So well done for all of that. Is that kind of what you've been doing creatively this year? Have you been in? I know there's been a plethora of plays on. Have you been in any of those?
Well, I was in Guys and Dolls at the start of the year. I was Mimi. She was a smaller role, but it was kind of nice to get myself introduced to the school and like working in the drama department with everyone. And I did end up being one of the dance captains by the end of Guys and Dolls, which was really cool.
Very good.
I was also in Clue.
Oh, nice. Oh, you were on the podcast.
I was on the podcast.
Yeah, you may recognise Leah's voice from an early podcast we did earlier in the year, where you did a little bit in character, but you know, just the intro, I think.
I think if I'd gone full Frenchy, I don't think French teachers would ever talk to me again. I think I'd offend some people, so.
I got 4 in GCSE French, so we're probably on the same level, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're new this year, so like taking all of this on within your first year, how's that been manageable wise? Has it been okay?
It's been tough, definitely, because I feel like with like doing acting fine, doing singing fine, doing dancing fine, but like doing like all the things, there's so much going on each and every time. Like I've done so many like music performances that I've like, oh, gotta leave this rehearsal so I can go over to dance rehearsal. This is a regional stop because we went and performed a competition, so like everything's just kind of been like stacked on top of each other. So it's not easy. Definitely difficult trying to like balance academics as well, and I work outside of school, so that's been tough. But I think it's taught me a lot about time management, and I'm definitely grateful that I've had the experience now, and I can kind of ease back a little bit when I'm in opposites.
Well, I think they're like unrivaled skills to have, things like time management and organisation. How did regionals go, by the way? Was that all right?
Well, regionals we won, and then yesterday we went to Cheltenham, and unfortunately, I think while our performance it had the whole audience like gasping, and it was so atmospherically quiet, like you could hear a pin drop. The judges did not seem to favour our type of dances and went down more so the commercial type and like hip hop things. I mean, they were great routines, but really missed over there.
Well, next time you should present the independent project.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that would go down quite well. Well, congratulations on both the independent project and the regionals and the nationals as well. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you want to say? Or
no, I don't think so. Just if you have an idea, just go for it, see how it goes, and just do your best, because you never know what's going to happen. And I thought I was going to fail, and I made one hell of a show, and I was really proud of myself. So
that's incredible. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you everyone for listening and watching in for the first time. Goodbye.